Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Njue. I'm a certified fundraising executive and a proposal development consultant, and my mission is to equip you with skills and the resources that you need to attract and retain donors and be able to expand your work and transform more lives, which is what we really are all about. Today we are going to be having a Q&A session, and in this session is where I attempt to respond to some of the common questions that are sent my way. So keep the questions coming. I will try as much as possible to respond to as many questions as possible. So our question for today is a common question that who can fund my work? So it comes in different formats. For example, someone will ask, is there funding for mental health? Or where can I get someone, a donor to fund my work in disability? Who is funding psychosocial support? So, that kind of question, really trying to figure out where can I get funding, at the end of the day. And I know my common response to many of you is that funding is available. There's funding available for all kinds of perhaps or initiatives that we have thought about in this world. But at times it actually requires us to go an extra mile to be able to find this funding. For example, let's talk about disability. So there are definitely some organizations that are very specific in funding disability. Perhaps actually I'm not very much aware of them, but I believe they do exist, and with research you can get it. But also a lot of organizations or a lot of programs today require that you mainstream disability. And so what you'll find is that there's always an opportunity to partner with another organization, or there is an opportunity to work with other organizations so that you can bring in your contribution. So as much as you're looking for specific maybe funders, it boils down again to how you can be able to partner so that you can get funding and make your contribution to a bigger program, because in many cases most of the funding nowadays is multi-sectoral, comes packaged to offer many different services, and therefore what is required at times is really networking and creating partnerships, so that then you can see how you can contribute. And so what I'm saying is that the opportunities are very many, but you have to open your eyes so that you do not just focus on the very specific donors, but be more broad and see that there are many opportunities. And to bring this home, because I don't want to be abstract, I want to share with you a real experience. So I was working with a grassroots organization, and there was a call, I would mention by who, but there was a big call for funding for our OVC, or what we call the Orphans and Vulnerable Children Programming. And the call was based in Kenya, and in very specific, I think it was just 3 counties in the western part of the country. And so we find ourselves in this situation where we are wondering, can we respond to this call? We were a growing organization, still struggling, but we are trying to we are asking ourselves, can we fit? Now, the organization that I'm talking about here is an organization that was really focused on training girls and boys, or rather training children on life skills, if I may put it that way. So the focus was really life skills training, nothing much, and focusing in schools and perhaps a little bit of community work. And then now we find this call that is looking for partners who are grassroots organizations and who have the capacity to offer OVC services in Kenya. And I remember back then, I'm not an OVC expert, but we needed to offer at least 7 services. And we found ourselves wondering, could we by any chance fit in this call? And what do we have to offer? And we looked at, life skills is a psychosocial service to some extent. By training, by empowering girls or boys in schools, we are actually offering them psychosocial support. And so with that, we ticked, at least we have one service we are offering. We are also offering education. We are in the education sector. We are encouraging girls and boys to go back to school. So there were some aspects of education, some aspects of literacy trainings that the organization was doing at small scale for sure. Now, the other requirement was that we needed to be present in these specific counties. And then we looked at ourselves, and our presence was very minimal. And actually, the only presence that we had was more of, we had supported a youth group in this specific region in terms of, again, life skills and empowering them, through very basic services. And so that left us wondering, how can we really respond to this? Because this is a big call. It's focusing on local organizations. So the competition was not extremely big. And so we saw a chance, but we also knew if we go alone, it meant that our chances were very minimal. And so what we did was then look out for an organization that one had a strong presence, because that was our weak area. So there were many other requirements which we were ticking, but or rather which we were qualified for, so we had ticked those boxes. But these two areas, the presence in the local presence, as well as the experience in delivering overseas services, were key challenges, but we were not giving up. And so what we did was to look out for another partner who had strong presence to cover our weak area. And the other big issue was now this partner needed to have experience in delivering overseas programs. And luckily we got such a partnered together. But what was very interesting is how we were able to actually apply as the prime, or rather we were actually the prime in this call, and still be able to demonstrate that we had done some level of overseas work, not full blown, because there was no way the donor was going to fund an organization that had absolutely no experience. And so with what we had done, which we may never have looked at it as services to overseas, we realized we could actually we had actually been serving overseas. In our minds, we were just serving school-going children with different services, encouraging them, but we never looked at it as an overseas program. And but when we were presented with this challenge, we actually were able to demonstrate our services as serving overseas, because the truth is the schools we were going to, they were in low resource areas. So even though in our minds we never realized or never thought of it as serving overseas, we actually were doing it. Were we doing it to full blown and as per the guidelines? Not really, but then we were able to show to some level that we had been serving this target audience, and then used the partner's experience to then blow it up. And with that, we actually floated a very strong proposal, and it was funded, and it was good money for the organization. And I can tell you that organization has grown, has never been the same again, has been able to secure a lot of funding because then they were able to broaden their thinking and get into so many other services after that. So yeah, I hope that encourages you to look deeper, look deeper in a call for proposal. A call for proposal could be like, for example, that same call for proposal that is asking for support for overseas, you could see how you fit your disability inclusion or your work with children who are living with disability there. It may require you then to say that most of the children who are actually living with disabilities are overseas, and you could you change the whole discussion and bring out your strengths, and you find yourself getting the funds. So it just requires us at times to rethink, not to expect things to be direct. Look for the opportunities within the existing calls for proposals, and you'll be shocked. You could get funding and grow your organization as a result of that. So I really hope that to some extent, and with that story or the case study that I've shared, that this encourages you to go beyond, to think broader, and to see how to partner with others, so that then you can be able to reach more people. And with that, I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you in the next session of our Q&A. So please remember to keep the questions coming, and also if you've not subscribed to our channel, we really want to humbly request that you subscribe. So thank you very much, and have a lovely day, evening. Thank you.